Lots of questions from the crowd here in Tyler tonight. We're going to get to those questions with Phil, who has one of our members of the audience. A question from them.
Yes, this is Wood County Sheriff Tom Castley with a question about immigration.
Okay.
Good evening, Governor Abbott. Welcome to East Texas.
Thank you, Sheriff.
I'm a 23-year retired field operations supervisor for the United States Border Patrol. I spent my time on the Mexican border and on the Canadian border after 9/11. Illegal immigration to this country is a federal issue. Yet the state of Texas is spending resources. We're sending the DPS troopers. We're sending down the National Guard. But they lack the arrest authority to do anything with these. And I understand that we're using them to backfill positions like for mechanics and for secretaries. But they're actually not boots on the ground when it comes to enforcement. So what I'm trying to do is there something that you can tell us about to make us feel better about the tax money going toward the border, to make sure it's being spent appropriately and effectively?
Absolutely. First, so people will know exactly what we've done. Each session we make appropriations or spend money for a 2-year period. We just finished a session where I signed a budget that appropriates $800 million, where Texas is working to help and do our part to secure the border. And Sheriff and everybody else, understand this. There's one reason and one reason only why we have to spend this money, and that's because the United States Congress is not doing its job to secure our border. If Congress would stop failing us, we could save this money. But let me be clear about how the money is being used. The money that we appropriated goes only to the Texas Department of Public Safety. It is adding 500 more Texas Department of Public Safety officers to make sure we are securing the border. And when I say that, understand this. Some are on the border themselves. You're not allowed to get on your phone now, but you can later on get on your phone and find out what the Texas Department of Public Safety was doing earlier this summer and in the spring as they were able to help prevent people coming across the border in Eagle Pass and some other locations. And so they are literally there on the border, and the Department of Public Safety does have the authority to make arrests under certain conditions. Point one. Point two about what the Department of Public Safety does, and that is, remember, the people coming across the border aren't just people looking for a better place to live or looking for a place to work. There are drug cartels involved in this. There are gangs. There are human traffickers. And it's the job of the Department of Public Safety, if there's anybody who's coming across the border committing crimes in the state of Texas, we want those people arrested and put behind bars, and the Department of Public Safety has the authority to make those arrests.
Governor Abbott,
Phil, if I could just finish real quick, and that is, he asked about the National Guard. Understand why I deployed 1,000 National Guard. This happened in June. In June, in the first 3 weeks of June, those 3 weeks alone, there were 45,000 people who came across the border illegally. And get this fact, they came from 52 different countries. As governor, I cannot just stand back and let that happen and just wait on Congress to step up, which they would never do. So I deployed 1,000 National Guard to the border to help out. And here's what they're doing and how they are adding 1,000 new boots on the ground. When the Border Patrol makes an arrest or detention of someone, as you probably know, Sheriff, there's paperwork that has to be complied with. There's the movement, the transportation of them from one place to another. Whenever Border Patrol agents are engaging in those types of activities, they're not on the border where they need to be, working on making the detentions and arrests they need to be making. And by the National Guard filling those roles, it basically adds 1,000 more Border Patrol agents to do their job to help secure our border.
Governor, just a quick follow-up on that. How do you measure success off of the National Guard troops there? Are there any specific metrics you're going to look to say, yes, we're getting our money's worth or not?
You know, it's difficult to come up with a metric that works because what would be a metric as to whether or not the Border Patrol is effective and whether or not we should fund Border Patrol? Well, what would happen if we didn't fund Border Patrol? It would be open border season. That's what would happen. That's why it's necessary for us to fund Border Patrol. In fact, what Congress needs to do, Congress needs to better fund Border Patrol. That will help secure the border. But in the meantime, Texas will do everything we can to step up and do our part to secure the border. Understanding this last point, which is hugely important. In Texas, we fully embrace legal immigration. Our job is focused on preventing illegal immigration.